Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins. We're experts at AI coaching and helping professionals like you and your employees upskill in AI. Our analysis today is grounded in an article from TechCrunch. It was published on April 7, 2026, written by Julie Bort, and the title is Uber is the latest to be won over by Amazon's AI chips. So here's how we're going to approach this. We'll start with the specifics of Uber's new deal. Then, we'll unpack the competitive angle of this move. After that, we need to get into the really interesting backstory involving a company called Ampere. From there, we'll contrast the chip strategies of the major players, and we'll wrap up by looking at what this tells us about the power of building your own hardware. Okay, let's get right into it. What exactly is this deal? We're talking about Uber's significant bet on custom silicon. The core of the news, announced on April 7th, is that Uber is expanding its partnership with AWS in a very specific way. You see, they aren't just buying more generic cloud capacity. They're committing to run key parts of their ride-sharing platform on Amazon's own custom-designed chips, specifically their Graviton server chips and their Trainium AI chips. Now, on the surface, this might just look like a standard contract extension, but it's really much more than that. You have to see this as a calculated competitive move. A strategic shot, really, in the ongoing cloud wars.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because it shows a major pivot in Uber's strategy. If you look back to 2023, their whole game plan was about diversifying. They signed these huge multi-year deals with Oracle and Google, trying to get off their own data centers and spread their risk. But this new move? It's the opposite. It's a deliberate, deep bet on a single provider's custom hardware for some of their most important workloads.
And the timing here is what makes this so pointed. I mean, it was just back in December 2023 that Uber itself was writing blog posts about its cloud transition. They were specifically calling out their use of ARM-powered instances from a company called Ampere, running on Oracle's cloud. So that begs the question, right? Who is this company, Ampere? To really grasp what's happening, we have to dig into the rather tangled backstory of the company that was, until recently, at the heart of Uber's strategy with Oracle. While the history here reads like a classic Silicon Valley drama, you have a former Intel exec, Renee James, who founds Ampere. Oracle comes in as a major backer, eventually owning about a third of the company. A very cozy relationship. But then, fast forward a bit, James leaves the Oracle board, and soon after, SoftBank acquires Ampere. And what does Oracle do? They sell their entire stake. The partnership completely dissolves. Now, Oracle may have walked away from this strategic partnership, but they certainly didn't walk away empty-handed. Their decision to sell that stake was, well, let's just say it was incredibly profitable. They walked away with a pre-tax gain of $2.7 billion, a very lucrative end to that chapter. Okay, so with that backstory in mind, we can now zoom out and see the bigger picture. What this all reveals is two completely different, almost opposing philosophies between Oracle and Amazon when it comes to the role of hardware. Here's the fundamental split. On one side, you have Oracle. Larry Ellison has been pretty clear about their strategy. They believe it's better to buy chips from best-in-class partners, like their huge deals with Nvidia. Designing them in-house, in their view, is no longer a real advantage. And then you have Amazon, which has taken the exact opposite approach. They believe that designing their own custom silicon, like Graviton and Trainium, is not just an advantage, it's a key differentiator that wins them major contracts. So you have these two very different strategies playing out in real time. And now we're starting to see some pretty clear results that show just how powerful Amazon's in-house approach has become. Look, Uber is a huge win, but they're not alone. They're just the latest in a growing line of major tech players choosing AWS because of these custom chips. We're talking about AI giants like Anthropic, even a company like Apple. These are sophisticated customers making a very deliberate choice. And if you think this is some small experimental side project for Amazon, think again. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy stated that as of last December, the Trainium AI chip program was already a business pulling in billions in revenue. This isn't a bet on the future, it's a massive success right now. So, what does this all boil down to? It really leaves the entire industry with a critical question to ponder. As AI becomes more and more essential, does having the ability to design and control your own silicon all the way down to the chip level create a competitive moat that others simply can't cross? Thank you for watching. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. If you like these videos, use the QR code at the beginning of this video to buy us a coffee or hire us to coach you or your employees in AI. Please subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel and like, comment, and share to help us reach a wider audience.